Elite entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Richard Branson oftentimes run laps around their competition without having a set schedule or routine. I run a health optimization company that literally services the next Elon Musks and Jeff Bezos of the world. And I'm going to show you exactly what guys like this do on a day-to-day basis and how they win without an exact structure or routine behind their day-to-day operations. The simplest way that we can visualize exactly what Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and all these high performers do is with a simple equation. And this is the equation that they run on a day-to-day basis with themselves. And Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all of our clients at the epitome of business are not stupid. They're very, very, very smart individuals, and they've realized the finite possibilities of living life or existing or just being human. And those things affect their output because there's one fundamental problem that encompasses a lot of entrepreneurs that become successful. The more successful you are, the problem is that there are constraints put on the body in regards to output that don't pay respect to us increasing our success in our time. Like eating. Eating is a task that we all have to do, but there are no parameters around how that's going to be affected as we gain more and more success. They're really important. They matter because output is dictated by us. We're the ones that are in charge of exactly what we build and exactly what we put out. And we are the biggest constraint of our output. And that's exactly why output falls into two categories. So leverage is what 99% of course sellers talk about. We're looking at businesses, anything that doesn't necessarily invoke you having to do something to get a specific output. So if you want to create a beverage company, you can outsource the production of that. You can outsource the shipping, the labeling, the wholesaling, etc., without necessarily you having to do anything. So that in turn, leverage, and leverage comes with wealth, etc., with connections and with time. And as you grow your business, your product, your operation, your people, your sales, it will be very clear that eventually there will be a mogul company like Tesla that exists underneath Elon Musk's output, right? So if Elon Musk is up here, one component of Elon Musk without paying any sort of direct correlation is Tesla. Tesla is very related to Elon Musk, but Elon Musk doesn't really do anything out of himself anymore to sustain Tesla. It's kind of built up, it's kind of doing its own thing. And Elon Musk's output to Tesla. But now Tesla is a result of Elon Musk's output, if that makes sense. The other aspect of the entire spectrum of anything relating to output is health. Any physical constraint of the body that relates to the cost of being human and the characters that we all are. We all have to pay attention to our focus, our longevity, our well-being, make sure we don't have any stomach problems or any seeing problems or hearing problems and things that will affect our output that aren't directly correlated to business. Now, remember the equation that we brought up here? The more successful you are, the more your time is worth. But there's constraints on health that don't relate to this formula because this formula can actually really easily be solved once you have leverage. You can just pay for people to do things for you better than you can, so that way you have more output and you continue to reinvest back into leverage. This is easily seen with, let's say you sell a business and then you put money into the stock market, and then it becomes exponentially easier to level up your wealth. Simple example. The thing is though, that's something that's very difficult to do with health, but we're already doing it to some extent. We have chefs and other aspects of automating health, but this is only solving one piece of the equation, which is time. So yeah, sure, I'm sure Elon Musk has private chefs and home caretakers and all these people that work with him and around his time specifically. Like, I'm sure he's not the one cooking or mowing his lawn. That's definitely dedicated to somebody else. But there's a whole other pillar on this stuff, like focus, longevity, sharpness, wellness, and stature, that need to be integrated within the time-saving pieces of health that Elon Musk shouldn't be doing to really, really, really maximize the output that he's looking for. Taking care of the body, taking care of the mind, which has ultimately broken down into nutrition, so our sources of fuel. Now, usually these are seen as buzzwords, but realistically speaking, the smartest way to handle those is with science. So if Elon Musk did science in the forms of blood work and DNA testing and gut testing, and use that science to feed it into how and what he's eating, training, and then that system fed into the in-home system, the chef, the home caretakers preparing meals based on the science of his body, he will now start to maximize and see the exact same benefits in his health as he would in the leverages that he's created with his business. And that's exactly what our clients are doing with us at Optimobility. We just hosted an amazing mastermind in Whistler, British Columbia, Canada. And the entire premise of that trip was realizing how health is 50% of the wealth equation because we are bound by the constraints of our bodies, our minds, and etc. When you're healthy, you have millions of problems. But when you're unhealthy, you only have one problem, which is getting healthy again. And fundamentally speaking, if Elon Musk did science and was rigorous and religious about his health, imagine how much more success he would amass instead of just creating Tesla and a bunch of other successful companies. And this is what entrepreneurs in June of 2025 are realizing. They're realizing that the other side of health needs a whole other system to figure itself out and to run on the back end smoothly. And that's exactly what Optimobility does for 7+ figure clientele. We'll install the in-home chef, as well as somebody that cleans the home. We'll do the full panel of science that we need to decode biology and understand what limitations the body's expressing. And then we'll handle all of the training and the protocols that are needed for our clients to see success with their health without them having to spend any time on it besides just showing up and following the plans that we've laid out for them to do. That way, the mechanism of health is fully handled and it's treated with the exact same enormity and respect as the wealth products are. Think of how many people work at Tesla and the in-depth logistics and operations that go on there as compared to how many people work on Elon Musk as an individual, constantly decoding and understanding his biology and understanding the means in which how he's maximizing his output. It may sound stupid, but Tesla has a lot more attention and a lot more depth than we do with decoding the number one source of what got Tesla there in the first place, which is the person behind it all. So we need to spend the exact same amount of energy on ourselves as we are on our business. As fundamentally, health is half of the wealth equation. So book in a call down below, check out our website, check out our case studies, our Instagram, my Instagram, and get a feel for exactly what we do and see if you qualify for this offer.